Hey everybody, Brannon Beliso here. Good morning. It is a Thursday morning. I am just dropped my daughter off at school. I was reflecting. I have a Facebook gig tomorrow. We're doing a self-defense workshop out at Facebook. And Facebook is an amazing campus. They have their own downtown Disney-like with all kinds of food and a dry cleaning and all these different things. And understanding that, it's because they're passionate about the culture. They want people to spend time there. They want people to want to be there. I mean, there's physical tours. Everybody wants to go visit. You know, they've really created that land of Oz. And I think we have that same opportunity to do that in our business all the time. Today I want to talk about practical application is the best teacher. We know that. Practical application is the best teacher. Reflect on that for a moment. Think about it. Practical application is the best teacher. Did I say that enough times? Practical application is the best teacher. Just like our martial arts, we can hypothesize, we can discuss theory, we can discuss philosophy, we can drill a technique, but until we apply that technique in real time, in an actual situation, whether it be sparring or real self-defense or however we can simulate that as closely as possible, it is just that, theory. Yes, there might be a lot of case studies and a lot of data to prove that a right cross to the face is more effective than a front kick to the groin. You might have data, but depending upon the situation, that front kick to the groin might be much more effective than punching the guy in the face. Correct? If as short as I am at 5'3", if this guy's 6'10", kicking him in the groin is probably a better deal for me than punching him in the face. Cool? Well, after I kick him in the groin and drop him to his knees, then the punch to the face might be a little more effective at that point. So practical application is the best teacher. And the reason I want to share that is there are more and more events for us to attend. Mine included. I've got one next week that's sold out. There's one every week, it seems. God, I was just at one in Cozumel. The following week, I was one in Dallas. I see them all the time now. They're everywhere. Everywhere. And that's not a bad thing because, especially when it comes to technology, things are changing at a breakneck speed. What was hip and cool a year ago and got results is not getting results today. And they're constantly raising the bar. They're constantly tweaking it. They're constantly adjusting the algorithms. And that's just the way it's going to be. That's just the way it's going to be, folks. Hey, good morning, Manny. Good morning, Michael. What's happening? 2 Michaels. Shion. 3 Michaels. I got 3 Michaels on this morning. How lucky am I? You're all probably from good Italian, Irish families, probably, right? Saint Michael. And so, with that said, I just want you to be mindful, folks, because there's a lot of knowledge out there. But is it the knowledge that you truly need? I'm working on one of my presentations next week about websites. And there are 3 options. You do it yourself, either for free or up to like $50 a month with the web hosting and all those different things. You go to a third-party company that's going to offer you SEO optimization, some email accelerator thing and all that, you know, that must integrate with their website or their website doesn't work optimally, it's sales-based. You know, and some people rave about it and get amazing effects, amazing results. And then there's the third school of thought. You pay and have it built. And I've been through, this is my 3rd web designer. I'm working on 2 different websites, one for my Kids Love Life Skills, one for my One Martial Arts. I've been through 3 web designers. I've read tons of books. I've attended many seminars. I've studied. And I will tell you, there is no right or wrong. It's really what your comfort level is and what your value system is. And I say that passionately because your value system should play a key factor in that decision process. And that's why I'm so big on you knowing thyself. What are your values? What's the vision of your company? You know, what is it exactly that you need? I was singing Facebook ads. As one guy said to me, in Germany, none of my parents are at Facebook. None of them, you know, like it. Well, there you go. There you go. I was talking to another person in a very rural area about the power of their website. And they said, well, honestly, we live in a town of, I don't know, 2,500 people. It's really ineffective. See, so There are no hard and fast rules. You just really need to decide for yourself how you best want to portray your business, how you best want to communicate your business, how you best want to present it to Joe E. Public. I think from a marketing viewpoint, it's all of those ways. For me, it's Facebook ads, it's Google ads, it's Yelp, it's good reviews at Google, Yelp, Facebook. It's my Facebook ads, it's my Facebook page, it's the app we're having developed, and now it will be a better website. But you know what? I have data. Here's my data, and I just want to share this with you. I have a crappy website. Go to onemartialarts.com. It's our old website. We've had it forever. I switched over to a sales-based website, didn't get the results I wanted. Long-term, I did in the immediate first couple of months, but long-term, I did not get the results. And so I went back to my crappy site. But hey, look at our numbers this month. We're at $166,000 this month. We're at what? Something like 31 new students in San Francisco, 19 in Millbrae. We are rocking it. So that leads me to believe, it would give me really clear data that the website is not the magic bullet. The website is one of many elements. One of many elements. You feel me on that? Who can feel me on that? Type it in. Type it in. Who can feel me on that? The website is not the magic bullet. It is not the end-all, be-all. It is one of many elements. Who would agree? Hey, what's up, Stefan? Yeah, and we do, but you know, we can test and measure that, Stefan. I agree with you, right? We test and measure that, but there are so many variables that need to be taken into consideration. So when some marketing guru or a sales company or an SEO company comes at you and says, this is the way to do it, right? You got to do it this way. I think the challenge with that, what are the variables? Where's my demographic? Where do I live? You know, I've learned from going to Europe and Germany several times now that the whole Facebook thing is a different animal there. We can't, as consultants here in America, live, teach, and preach the same song we do in America as they do in Europe. They behave totally differently. Totally differently. So we have to be mindful of that. We have to be very, very mindful of that. So, practical application is the best teacher. I can tell you a million times, you better block that right punch, because if you get hit in the face, it's going to hurt. But until somebody punches you square in the face, you're not going to understand how much that punch can really hurt. It's the same thing here. So many people in our industry, outside industry, and society as a whole are simply professional students. Why? Because they never have to practically apply that information to fail. If I'm constantly in school, I'm a professional student, it's measured. All I have to do is study the curriculum, take a test, get an A. Study the curriculum, get a test, get an A, right? And attend class. So, but if I have to take that, what I've learned in that class, and go apply it in the real world where I could sink or swim, well, then it's a whole nother variable of emotions. There's so many uncontrolled variable factors that can be factored in there to determine my success or failure. And what's amazing is the knowledge I had 2 years ago about social media in many ways is obsolete today. The way we're teaching curriculum 5 years ago is very obsolete today. The way I do, oh God, my whole education on finances and investing in just a year is so much different today as it was a year ago. So that part is constantly changing. We know that. The information coming out is constantly changing. The business climate, it will all constantly be changing. That's why you must have very strong values, not ego, not narrow-mindedness, not narcissism. Really good, strong values. Integrity, to always do the right thing. That works, right? What else? Discipline, to always do your best. And the band played on. So when I'm that professional student and all I do is gather information, I gather information, you know what? That's all I do. But to get out there and apply it in a practical application, dealing with all the variables of your personal life, as well as the climate of the business in your region, in your demographic, is a whole nother day. Because you based upon your values, based upon your personal visions, based upon your action plan, based upon how you're going to move your business from here to there in the next 3 to 5 years. You have to make real-time decisions that you cannot blame upon the information you've received. You cannot blame on the consultant you've worked with. Every day, you're making real-time decisions to make or break your business and your life that have nothing to do with the information that's been offered you. And that's why I'm so passionate about teaching you, inspiring you, leading by example to get you to be a critical thinker. Because what may work for me may not work for you. May not at all. And that's why you must practically apply everything. Practical application is key to everything. Because then you find out, does that knowledge work for me? But yeah, I mean, we could narrow the playing field, at least by knowing who I am, what my vision is, what my values are, the direction of my business. Otherwise, I'm going to start on this program, 6 months in, it doesn't work, I bail on it. I go to this program, 6 months in, and I don't feel good about it, I bail on it. Because I didn't come into it knowing who I am, knowing what my vision is for my business and how I want to move it. You feel me? Who feels me on that? Is it just me? Who's with me on that? Who's with me? Let me read some of your questions. I'm getting lots of feedback here. Andy Mishkin. Still new to this, so I don't want to pretend that I am an authority. But it seems like creating brand awareness has to do with really walking the talk. And that is more important than the exact advertising or marketing mechanisms, Facebook, Google, whatever. They're important than being the thing you're over. Yeah, I mean, transparency, you hear this a lot in social media. Gary Vee talks about it. Seth Godin talks about it. Authenticity. And that's why I am passionate about having my own website designed, using my own pictures. I've become great at writing content. I believe that. I have 2 books coming out. I've written feature articles. I am a writer. So who could tell my story better than me? Nobody. So learning to write good copy has been very, 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 very important to me. Very important. And I want to be authentic. You're right. I agree with you, Andy. I do, at least. You got to walk your talk. What they see at the website is what they should get when they walk through the door. That's why I'm challenged when you got this big pagoda at the back of your website because it looks cool and hip and reminds you of the Matrix. And then they come to your school and it's 1,400 square feet in a strip mall. You feel me? So you want to be authentic. I want to make sure. We've been talking a lot about reviews. Nobody's saying testimonials anymore. That's one of the new switches in websites. You need to say reviews. And they're physically doing screenshots of a Google review, physically doing screenshots of a Yelp review, physically doing a screenshot of a Facebook. Because even though it may not look as well and it may not fit the color scheme of your website, guess what? It is authentic as authentic can be. Now, sure, I could take that testimonial and do a nice picture and make sure it's in the color of my website and all that. And I had thought about that originally, but I understand their point. People need authenticity, right? Our own government's preaching fake news, fake news, fake news. So people have their radar out. People are saying there is fake news. Yes, there is. People lie all the time. I read this guy's whole article who knew nothing about coaching, nothing about mentoring, nothing. He wasn't a successful business owner, had no success himself. He had ripped off everybody's stuff from all over the internet and created a landing page. And he created a 6-figure consulting business in 1 year. 6 figures in 1 year. And it was all smoke and mirrors. It was all smoke and mirrors. So yes, do I believe people are leery? Absolutely. Absolutely. Instead of, I'll trust you until you prove me wrong, prove me and I'll trust you. It's really flipped the script on that. So I agree. I think authenticity is really important in designing your website, in the marketing materials, in the events that you project, in your own personal life. In your own personal life. And for me personally, I want to make sure that I walk my talk. That's very important. You know me. I'm 55. I train. I learn. I'm in my schools. I do all of the above because I think being an on-site owner or an involved owner, because I'm not on site that much, that's very important for my success, what I determine as success. You feel me? So what else you got for me? So, practical application is the best teacher. And we know that as fighters, right? Sophie, you were a fighter, sir, for many years. Tell me, we can stand there and hypothesize about a technique and how good this technique is. And in theory, it might look good on paper, but until you apply it in the ring in practical application, it doesn't mean diddly. It means nothing. It means nothing. So I could go to every one of these conventions, listen to everybody spew their rhetoric about what will work and what's successful, and this data is proven and that data is proven, but it means nothing until I apply it to my environment. I think what's weak about that too, and is when it doesn't work, what do these consultants tell us? You didn't do it right. You didn't do it right. Well, I've been there and did everything I was told to do once or twice. I've actually adopted other people's stuff, sales and everything, and it didn't work. You know why? Because you don't know me. You don't know my story. You don't know my demographic. You don't know the clients I serve. You don't know where they eat, sleep, drink, and play. And that was my fault because I need to do that hard work. And that's the other thing I'm here to share with you about practical application. You need to do the hard work. Stop looking for the quick fix. Stop looking for instant gratification. Stop looking for shortcuts. There is no magic bullet. There is no holy grail. There is no shortcut. Building a great business takes time. Takes time. Ask anybody right now. Ask Sophie. He'll tell you. Right, sir? How long have you been working on your business? I've worked on my business for a long time. It takes time. Think like a farmer. Right? And this is what's wrong with farming today. They're using so many weird altered genetics and pesticides and, nutrients and fertilizers and all this stuff. They're producing fruit and vegetables faster, better, and quicker. The problem with that is it's causing cancer. Right? People aren't getting the nutritional value out. But it grows faster and it looks good. Same thing with the chickens, right? Pump them up with freaking hormones and everything else. Grow them bigger, better, and faster. But you know what? That's not healthy for you. That is not healthy for you. So I think it's the same thing in my business. I look at my business like blueberries. When you plant that blueberry, it takes not one season, not 2 seasons, but 3 before it bears fruit that is edible. You can't look at a young sapling and tug it and say, give me fruit, give me fruit, give me fruit. It's not ready for fruit. It's got to do it in its own time. And I think that's the same thing in business. I've learned about business. But martial arts is not my only business. I've owned other businesses throughout my lifetime, and people tend to forget that. And they've all done pretty well. But what I've learned from a young age, sweeping floors in my grandma's restaurants, is that great business is built over time. I am not in it short term. I am in it long term. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. You feel me? So, practical application is the best teacher. There's no way around it. So be very careful about all these different events you go to. Mine sold out in a matter of weeks. It's next week. So I'm busting my butt. I really got to walk my talk. I have to give you content that's relevant. I have to give you content I'm passionate about. I have to give you content that's backed up by data, at least some data that it works. Whether it's my own data, whether it's data I grab from the internet or reliable websites like Kissmetrics that I think are reliable, because I can only base it upon my value system. You feel me? And for where I say black, you'll find 10 people who say white. Where some people will say you need a sales-based website. I'll find you 10 who say you don't. Some people say you need long copy in your ad. I'll find you 10 people who say you don't. So it's not about that. It's not that I'm right, they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong. It's really, again, being that critical thinker, finding what works for you. And if you're getting the results that you are happy with, or you getting the type of success that you envision, that you want, then who cares what I say? Who cares what anybody else has to say about it? You feel me? But be super clear about that. I was talking to a woman this morning, and in their town they have 2,500. She has 50 students. She's been open 20 years. She believes those are good numbers. She believes that is success for her. She believes bring value to the community. And I agree with her. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? Right? But with that said, I mean, we're at 604 in San Francisco, 367 in Millbrae. We're at our highest numbers to date. I think that's 971. So I believe we'll see 1,000 students by May. You know, my model's different. You know I don't do contracts, upgrades, belt fees, enrollment fees, no 30-day cancel. We do none of that. All we do is focus our time and energy on teaching well, creating that experience, serving people at the highest level. That's what we spend the majority of our resources on, the majority of our time on. I spend my time writing systems. Marketing? Yes, we do Facebook ads. Yes, we have Yelp. Yes, we're working on a great website. Yes, we do Google ads. Yes, we do. We do all of those things and then some. But I don't believe any one of them is the magic bullet to my success. Then you have to pick and choose where to spend that money effectively. You feel me? You feel me? All right. Hey, this is Brannon Beliso. I'm going to see a lot of you next week at It's Time Live, presented by Rainmaker Membership Systems and Vision USA. There's 3 spots left that opened up magically. A couple people who said they were going to come are not coming now. So if you want to go to brannonbeliso.com/itstime/live, join us next week, April 8th and 9th in San Francisco. I promise you, I will give you my heart. I will give you my soul. I will give you everything I can that I believe will help you to succeed in your personal life and your business. Cool. All right, until we talk again, folks, you go out there and live your best life.